It wasn't recording.
Man, I'm so fucking disoriented. It's crazy. This shit hit me out of nowhere. This shit's not even like 3 minutes no more. It's more like a minute and a half.
Yeah, shit, come on.
I know, but I have to get my hair.
I guess it's gonna take us some time too.
Crazy because in between, everything's fine.
All good.
It's just that the in-betweens are getting shorter and shorter. The contractions are hella close. At this point, my only concern is really just getting to the birth center in time, because it's like 45 minutes away and we still gotta pick up Cleo from school. I'm gonna not go too far because I might get a contraction. I'm getting a contraction. Okay. I just feel so overwhelmed. Not even the pain, it's just like, I don't know. If I thought I had more time to kind of get things together, get my mind right. 'Cause I don't like to cry or be in distress in front of Cleo, but yeah, it'll be fine. But I'm happy right now. I'm so happy. Even I can't separate. You excited? Yeah.
Oh, my mind, I'm thinking how my money goes. I'm all alone to my shoes. The way it keeps turning. Oh, what a day, what a day, what a day. To my shoes. The way it keeps turning. To my shoes. The way it keeps turning.
Hello sunshines, welcome back. Let me explain because it did get really crazy, really hectic, really quickly. So as you can see, I opted for a birth center birth as opposed to a hospital birth. So that comes with midwives. We did opt to not have a doula just because we didn't feel like we needed one. And I still don't think that we did. So you see how it went. It really escalated really quickly. So the way the video starts is me. It's me in full-on active labor. I had literally just woken up from a nap maybe 30 minutes prior to that. I would give it an hour, maybe an hour prior to that. I really gaslighted myself into thinking that I wasn't in labor because you know the third trimester is really hard mentally because you feel like every day is the day that you're gonna go into labor. And I already had a couple of days like that. So I was just over it at that point. I was literally miserable. I was already saying like, you know, he's not even gonna come until after his due date. Just all this. So, and I was really used to having a lot of pain during my pregnancy as well. So I was already just kind of used to ignoring that kind of stuff at that point. Because I took a nap. I was just so tired that day. Once Cleo went to school, I was like, oh no, I gotta take a nap. So I literally didn't do anything. I didn't eat anything. I hadn't drank anything, which was mess up number one. I woke up really feeling like, okay, let me, you know, get some breakfast, get my day started. So that was the intention. And I was like, I went to go to the bathroom and then I did notice like a little bit of spotting. I want to say was spotting. And that was weird to me because I hadn't had any type of spotting, any bleeding during my pregnancy. Same with my first pregnancy. Like, that's not a normal thing for me. So I was like, okay, that's suspicious.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
And literally right after I noticed the spotting or the bleeding, contractions came. And it was to the point where it wasn't even like a localized pain. Like I couldn't even say like, oh, it felt like cramps. It didn't feel like cramps. It was almost more of like a sensation as opposed to like a localized pain. Like it was crazy. I called my boyfriend. I was like, okay, so I think I'm in labor for real this time. He's like, okay, call the on-call midwife number, because we were supposed to do that for the birth center. Like call the on-call number, let them know like how far the contractions are. They don't want you to come in until it's like 411 rule. So I think the contractions are every 4 minutes, lasting for about a minute for at least an hour. So okay, I called them and I'm like, I think I'm in labor, but I'm not sure, whatever. So she's like, okay, you know, download one of the contraction apps and just start tracking your contractions. And then like just kind of keep me posted. I'm like, okay, cool. As I'm hanging up, contraction. So I tracked that. It only took like maybe 4 contractions before the app tells me to go to the hospital. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I need to take a shower. I still gotta do all this stuff. I need to clean up. I need to do my hair. It's all this stuff, right? So luckily my boyfriend comes home maybe like 15 minutes later. We both kind of freaking out. Contractions are still coming. Like, I mean, they are smacking my ass. Like, they are bad. And it's like after every contraction, I'm so disoriented. Like, I can't even remember what I was about to do before. For some reason, I called my mom. My mom lives in Indiana. I live in Texas. Like, what did I call my mom for? I don't know. Maybe I needed emotional support, but I was still trying to act normal. I didn't even tell her I was in labor for like 5 minutes into the conversation. Like a fucking weirdo, wasting time. Like once I get out of the car at the birth center, I'm crying. And just like, not even because of the pain, but it's just like, whoa, like it was just overwhelming. Like all of this is happening at once. I can't even think. Like that's a big thing for me. I need to be able to think. I couldn't even think straight. I trip over the damn step getting into the birth center. Embarrassing. I think all of it was just really embarrassing for me because I like to be a really composed person, and nothing was given composed that day. Nothing. My edges weren't even laid. Like nothing was given put together. I would have to say labor was the most humbling thing for me. The most humbling experience I have ever had was labor and delivery. Okay, so where the video left off, I was laboring in the tub. So right before I got into the tub, I had went to the bathroom, noticed more blood. I think this is like my mucus plug coming out, because that hadn't happened the entire pregnancy. But I'm just like taken back, and like I'm showing my boyfriend, and we just kind of like, what is going on? But then again, after I noticed the blood, all of a sudden I'm in excruciating pain. Like, it went up crazy. The pain level went up so crazy at that point. And like, I couldn't even move, like I couldn't walk. In the tub laboring, of course, you know, you're thinking like the pool or the water is going to kind of soothe the contractions a bit. No, I honestly want to say it got worse when I got into the damn tub. Like, oh my God, it was so bad. And then I was exhausted too, because I told you I didn't eat. So at this point I had been in labor for about 4 hours, right? Well, I had been laboring at the birth center for about 4 hours. I'm completely exhausted. He's trying to give me the electrolytes. I don't want it. I want the baby out of me. I'm over it. I can't even. So in between contractions, I'm literally snoring. Like, I can hear myself snoring in my sleep. Like, I'll have a contraction. It's painful. It's excruciating. As soon as it's over, like, I'm knocked out snoring. So again, embarrassing, whatever. So that happens after that. So there's a point where I'm like, okay, I can't take the pool no more, like the tub. I need to get out. So I go lay in the bed. I get out to head to the bed. Again, pain hits me so crazy. I can't even walk. And the thing is, it's really throwing me for a loop, because I'm a person who has a really strong pain tolerance. Also, I'm really good at like the mind over matter type of situations. Not in this situation. So it's just so confusing to me. So again, overwhelming. Like, I'm not understanding what's going on in my body. This is not the pain that they described to me. It's terrible. So I don't make it to the bed. I'm laying on the floor in between the couch and the tub, like laying on the floor. I just can't even, like, I'm sweating profusely. Like, it's bad. It's like I'm down bad at this point. At this point, I'm really feeling like, am I gonna make it? Like, am I gonna make it? And if not, cut it sooner than later, because this is bad for me. Literally in my mind, I'm thinking like C-section me. And it's like in our birth, what they call birth classes, childbirth classes, they say to have like a code word when you're at that pain threshold where you need to go to the hospital. We didn't do that, because we both thinking, again, I have a high pain tolerance. I got this, it's fine. So I'm like, I don't even know what I can say for him to understand, like, I'm done with this. Like, I cannot do this anymore. Because also what they tell you in the childbirth class is once you start to say, I can't do this anymore, that's when you're like there, pretty much. That's when the baby is gonna come. So it's just like, y'all not listening. I can't do this. This is terrible. And my birth center doesn't give any type of like pain intervention. Not even ibuprofen, no laughing gas. So I'm just thinking that the whole time, like, damn, I can't get nothing, man. Oh, it was bad. So again, I'm on the floor, down bad. At one point, I just start pushing with the contraction. I don't know what made me think to start pushing, but I think what was making it so painful is the fact that I was, like I said, I'm really composed. I try to stay composed. So I'm like I'm trying to hold it in. Like the pain, I'm trying to hold the pain in and kind of just get through it instead of like breathing it out. Like, I don't know, at some point I just felt like I need to push it out. So I'm pushing, and then I realized I was doing that. I asked the midwife, like, is it okay to push? And she's like, well, if your body tells you to push, you know, go ahead, say less. Because I'm noticing as I'm pushing with the contraction, I'm feeling so much better. It gets to a point where it feels like, okay, something is coming out. Also, I have the hugest fear about pooping during labor. So this is, again, just bad. Like, it's bad for me right now. So I really wasn't trying to just be pushing just to push. And she was like, also be careful, because if you push prematurely, then you have the chance of like rupturing your cervix or something to that effect. So, okay. At this point, I don't need the cervix, right? Because I'm not gonna make it much longer anyway. So I'm pushing. Again, it's starting to feel like something is there. It's hurting so bad. And I was telling the midwife, like, this is not what y'all said. This is not the pain y'all said it was gonna be. People kept like describing it or like comparing it to period cramps. What, no damn period cramps. And I'm like asking her, like, am I close? And I told her, do not lie to me, because this is not funny no more. And she's like, I wouldn't lie to you. And I'm looking at my man, I'm like, this whole lying, because I just feel like this shit is never going to end. Okay, again, so back to feeling like, okay, something needs to come out. I'm pushing, because at this point, I ain't got no dignity left anyway. It don't even matter. So if it's poop that needs to come out, if it's baby that needs to come out, it's coming out. Mind you, my water had not broken. Nothing has happened, so this is still just making me feel like I'm nowhere near close to where I need to be. So I'm pushing. I feel a big ass snap, like in my vagina, like a snap. And it's almost like I heard it too, but it was so much going on. I don't know about that part, but I feel like I heard it. But then it was like a splash. At this point, I'm on all fours, so I can see behind me a little bit. Like I'm kind of looking. I open my eyes right in time to see my midwife, like she's coming towards me, and then she backs up right in time because my water bag just like flew like crazy. At this point, the midwife is like professionally freaking out, because she's like, okay, I have to check the baby's heart rate. At this point, I don't want anybody touching me. I'm like, no, please don't touch. Everything hurts. I can't even think. Don't touch. She's like, she's very adamant. Like she has to make sure that the baby's okay. Okay, fine. She comes to do that, and she's like, the baby's farting. She says, like, there's somebody else there, like another midwife that wasn't like necessarily active in the labor, but she was kind of there. I guess she heard all the commotion. So she's like, calmly tells her, okay, we need to call the EMTs. I'm like, EMTs? I start pushing, because EMTs means you're gonna go to the hospital. Hospital means a hospital birth. No. Bad experience. We're not doing that, because no, we're not doing it. So I'm pushing. She's also telling me, like, push if you can, like push on your contractions. So everybody's yelling push. I'm pushing. Man, 3 minutes later, EMTs come in, and I mean, it's 6 of them. It might not have been 6. It felt like it was 6 of them. All men come in. I'm down bad, butt ass, butterball naked on the floor. It's wet. I didn't look. My eyes are closed. It's too embarrassing for me. My eyes are closed. I didn't want to make it worse. My eyes are closed, but I just know it's wet all over the floor, because I feel it under me. At this point, I'm very cooperative, because what do y'all need me to do? And I just kept saying, what do you need me to do? And they decide they're gonna put me on the tarp, because of the way that the room was set up, and then the way the stairs were. The stairs are really narrow, and they kind of like spiral. So they're gonna have to put me on the tarp to get me downstairs and then onto the gurney, because we're upstairs, and the upstairs is like birthing suite. Why did I pick that one? I don't know. So okay, they get me on the tarp. I'm still having contractions, y'all. I'm still pushing on my contractions. So I'm pushing. As soon as we get outside of the birth center building, so at this point it's dark outside. We get outside. I'm on the tarp. I get another contraction. I push. I reach down, because I feel like something is like coming out. I reach down to touch. It's the umbilical cord. I'm like, hey, don't fret, but I felt the umbilical cord. He's like, umbilical cord, like kind of freaking out, but professionally at the same time. So okay, he didn't say nothing else. We get into the ambulance, like the actual truck. They're so nice. Like these big, rough looking men are so gentle, so nice to me. So I'm like, that's keeping me calm, if that makes sense. So as soon as I get on there, I feel another contraction's about to come in my mind. I'm pushing again. Because like I feel, at this point I can feel the baby. Like I feel the baby is like working his way down the birth canal. So I'm going to push, because I'm not delivering in the hospital, because I'm not getting a C-section. No. So as soon as we get on there, they talk about whatever they need to talk about. They close, like I remember him closing the cabinet, and then they slam like the back door, and we're about to go. And he's like, oh yeah, by the way, try not to push. At this point I was already pushing. casually at this point because I didn't have so much pain. After my water broke, I really didn't have pain anymore. I could actually just feel what was going on. That's how I knew the baby was coming. So I'm like, oops, because I felt him. He was already descending, coming out on the push that I had already done. And literally the baby says, like, flops straight out, shoots out, like right in front of me on the gurney. And I'm just looking at the man, he looking at me. He's like, well, get the birth kit. They wrap him up, give him to me. And I'm just like, I'm in shock, but at the same time, I'm just trying to like make sure I haven't disassociated. Like, so I'm just like looking at the baby. I'm like, no, like everything seems cool. Like, he's cute. I like him. Everything feels fine. But I think it's shocking that everything is fine after all that chaos. I'm just like, I don't trust it. This is weird. So, okay, my boyfriend couldn't come with me in the ambulance because we also had Cleo there, and apparently kids can't come in the ambulance, so they had to drive. They get to the hospital before us because once the baby comes out, the EMTs are freaking out, professionally of course. They're freaking out. They're like, stop the bus, like trying to get their bearings. They didn't even record the time that the baby was born, so they let us pick the time that I thought the baby was born. So it was crazy. But yeah, turns out when I told him that I felt the umbilical cord, he took that for like, I don't know how he got that, but he said like they told the hospital that the baby's head was out for 3 minutes because it was about from 3 minutes from the time we left the birth center to the time that we got to the hospital. Just about, maybe a little longer, but they're saying like his head was out for 3 minutes, but the baby hadn't been actually born. And apparently, like in medical terms, that basically means your baby would be unalive. I don't know, like, if that's what I need to say on YouTube, but that's how you gotta talk on TikTok. So I don't know. But yes, they were expecting an unalive baby when we got to the hospital. At this point, I'm just kind of thinking like, oh dang, like Dre didn't even get to see the baby born. Like, he's probably sad, or he's probably just like hella concerned. So I'm already like kind of practicing in my head like what I'm gonna say when I see him. I'm literally when we get into the hospital, I'm just looking for him, like, where's my man? Like, they're rolling me in on the gurney. There's probably like blood all over me, just crazy looking, I'm sure, but whatever. I'm looking for my man. We make eye contact. I'm like holding the baby like fucking Simba. Like, I'm like, babe, he's perfect. And like, I just felt like everything was cool after that. We get into the hospital room. Cleo's already in there waiting for me. The midwife is in there like keeping her company and whatnot, because my poor baby was traumatized. Oh my god, I feel so bad about that. Just because the EMTs came in, it was just, it was a lot for her. So she ended up leaving so she can enjoy the rest of her weekend. And yeah, that was pretty much it. So I mean, when we got into the hospital room, it was of course hella doctors, hella residents, is that what you call them, like the students, a lot of them, because again, like, they're expecting an unalive baby, or like a baby that's like needs immediate attention. The baby's perfect. I'm chilling. The only thing was that I ripped crazy. Like, it was only a secondary tear, but they said it wasn't like it was an abnormal tear. So it took them forever to stitch it up. And it was an abnormal tear because I didn't tear delivering the baby. I tore pushing out the damn sack. And what I didn't mention is the reason I was in so much pain, and the reason that pain didn't match what I had mentally budgeted for, based off of what they say contractions and labor should feel like, is because apparently I had bulging waters. So the umbilical, not the umbilical, what's it called? I don't know. The water sac, because they're calling it bulging waters, so I don't know. The actual sac that the baby was in is coming out. It's coming out, but it's not breaking. Like, it's just too strong. It's not breaking. And it caused crazy pain. And that's what the midwife was telling me, because I'm like, really, like, this is not what y'all said it was gonna feel like. And she was saying it's because you have bulging waters, like, 'cause she kept doing like the cervical check, and she's like, it's because you have bulging waters. And to me at that time, I'm like, what is, I don't care what that means. Like, if I got bulging waters, break the water. So this was the reason that she actually panicked when the water did break, is because there was meconium in the water. So you guys know if the baby It's basically baby pooped in the sac, right? And the problem with that is that you don't want the baby to ingest any of the poop, because then it could be infection and whatever. Also, she's seen the cord as well. Like, she felt the cord coming first. So she also knew, like, okay, we definitely need to at least have the EMTs on standby. She didn't think they were going to come that fast, because apparently all the other times they have had to call them, they take like 10-15 minutes, never 3 minutes. So she was just thinking like, okay, we can still deliver the baby, but at least we could have the EMTs, you know, very close by if we need them. So y'all, literally, if I would have just stayed in the birth center 3 minutes longer, I would have delivered my baby in the birth center. But I actually delivered him in the ambulance truck by myself. And yeah, so I mean, it worked out. A win is a win. Shorty had a VBAC, and a win is a win. That is pretty much it. If y'all got questions on the VBAC or anything I did to prepare for it, anything that happened afterwards, let me know. Any other video ideas you guys want about the baby or anything, let me know in the comments. And I will see you beautiful people on another good day.